All right, what's happening, my mathletes? That's right, Mr. Muscarella coming at you, and we're going to take a look at expanding, and we're going to put all of the properties together in this video. So we're going to take a look at all three properties, the exponent property, multiplying, and dividing property. So let's go ahead and take a look at these three problems here for using properties of logs. All right, now this first one, we're going to break these apart into steps, and some of you, just like algebra, are going to be able to do maybe one or two steps at a time, but for this video, we're going to do it one step at a time. So we've got, in our argument here, we've got two things going on. All right, so we've got each one of those terms on the inside. They're being multiplied together, and they have exponents. So one way, so I'm going to do it really slow. So we're going to have natural log of x cubed, and then plus natural log of y squared. Now, some of you might be able to use the exponent property and go right to the next step and take these exponents and move them down into the front. So if you do that, that's okay. So you'd have 3 and then natural log of x plus, and then we'd have our 2, because that's our exponent there, we'd have 2 natural log of y. So either way we expand that, you know, it's one step at a time, but if you can do 2 steps at once, totally cool. All right, totally cool on you. So let's try and do that with this guy right here. Let's try and do this in one step, all right? So we've got natural log of base 3 of the quantity x squared over y to the 5th. So I know I'm going to have to use subtracting because I'm using a division property. So I'm going to have log base 3. Now instead of writing x squared, what I'm going to do is take that 2 and then move it down here out in front. So instead, that is going to give us 2 log base 3 of x. So that's for that very first term in the numerator. So the x squared turns into this guy right here, 2 log base 3 of x. Now, common mistake here, make sure you write a subtraction sign. And when we go to write the 5, so we're going to have 5 log, and then this is a piece you got to write, log base 3, and then of y. So when you're expanding, you're not going to have any, let me change color on that one, you're not going to have any terms that have an exponent when you do the expanding. So that, when we expand log base 3 of x squared over y to the 5th power, that's not going to have any terms that have an exponent in it. So that's how you know you're done. All right, so that's how we do B. And then C, this one's going to be Mac Daddy one right here. A little bit of everything going on here. So if you think you got it, pause it and then check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, but I will give you this hint on this one. This very first term right here, this cube root of x squared, what I want you to do is rethink that one. And we'll kind of rewrite that in our brains maybe. And we'll say, okay, that's going to be log base 3 of x to the 2/3 power over y to the 5th and then z squared. So that's going to be rewritten as that. So that's how that's going to be rewritten. So that x squared, and when we do that to the 1/3 power, that's going to give us this x to the 2/3 power. All right, so that's going to combine and give us that. So when we do this problem again, we're going to be subtracting here our quantities and moving those exponents all the way out in front. So I'm going to have 2/3 and then log base 3 of x. Now, here's where you got to be really careful because there are 2 terms in the denominator. So very careful here. We're going to have subtracting, but then we're going to have 5 log base 3 of y minus, or I'm sorry, plus, thinking ahead here, 2 log base 3 of z. All right, so all of that is being subtracted. So then when we clean that up a little bit, we're going to have 2/3 log base 3 of x minus. So we're going to take this minus sign right here, and we're going to distribute it to the 2 terms on the inside. And so that'll give us minus 5 log base 3 of y, and then minus 2 log base 3 of z. All right, so that's what our final answer would be for this guy right here for part C, and that's it. So we're going to go ahead and do the reverse of that in our next example. Example here, number 5, where we come back, and we're going to go in the reverse order, where we go from the expanded version, we're going to condense it. So make sure you come on back and watch that. I'll catch up with you guys a little bit. Peace out.